Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the EGFC SSBU. I am Sepulent, that is Miles, and we are going to be bringing you a whole bunch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate today, starting with Canisius College versus Siena College.
Yeah, we've got it's not necessarily a close one, but it could be important because both these teams, they're a part of the MAC. And while I'm not 100% sure they're both going to be at the in-person invitational, they're still from this region that is going to be going head-to-head later this week. And so this is a sort of like test the waters match to see how this region is doing before this upcoming big in-person event.
Yeah, I think of a lot of these teams are going to be proving themselves. It comes into this week, like you mentioned, this weekend as well. We've got that MAC Showdown coming up this weekend in a couple of games, Smash, Rocket League, and maybe even more. Those are just the two that I'm aware of. But it is important that these teams tonight, prove their worth, prove their importance, and prove their skill, right? We know that everybody here in the EGFC brings a certain amount of skill to the program, but it's those teams that can really go above and beyond in their individual leagues that can take this all the way to the end. And I think Canisius and Siena, they're going to be looking to prove their worth in gold tonight.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of above and beyond, Siena currently sitting at number 2 in the standings, and that's just because of match differential.
Yes.
Which, again, those points at the end do matter. But yeah, even with that, they are tied for number 1 in terms of points, and they've been looking almost indomitable. I've been trying to figure out who their one loss is to, and I can't quite find it. But either way, just one loss in this entire season. Think of all the amazing players we've seen.
Yeah.
And now Siena.
Absolutely. And if we go off statistical guesses here of who that loss may have been, we could look at Mississippi State, we could look at DePaul. There's some teams that are winning a lot more often than they're losing. So, Siena definitely becoming one of those. Like you said, a team recently really on the up and up, coming through larger and more in charger every single week. Every time we see them, they are really working some phenomena across the board. We're going to be moving into this matchup soon. I know we've got our first players confirmed. It's Miko Rising from Canisius and Waffle from Siena. So these two players definitely recognizable here at the EGFC, names that we have seen before.
Yeah, Miko Rising comes in a lot as one of the anchors of Canisius, so I'm not surprised to see them starting out. You've got to send your heaviest hitters, because everyone is a heavy hitter on Siena. Miko Rising on the Ness has some very nice confirms. They've got pinpoint accuracy with that PK Thunder off stage, using it to edge guard, and that's going to be important because, well, going up against a Sonic, you need to take every chance you can get to poke at them.
Yeah, and Ness in particular, like you said, is going to have a lot of good opportunities to make space, have some opportunities to play Ness, but if Sonic can move in and get close enough, that's a complete and total game changer. I feel like we a lot talk about tempo and momentum from the players and kind of the ideals and play styles they bring to the table. This feels very rock, paper, scissors to me. It really depends on who's hitting a little bit faster and a little bit harder on who's going to walk away with a win here in this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing you got to keep in mind is spacing around this shield, because Ness does have that amazing get-off mid tool in the Nair, has some disjoints that can kind of contest spin dash, but I'm curious to see, speaking of that tempo, Waffle just goes straight in, but now they've put themselves in the corner without a jump, and Miko Rising smells blood in the water, puts them up. This combo is still going on. There's that pinpoint accuracy, but the spin dash gets through it.
Yeah, I mean, Miko Rising really getting caught out by Waffle's hyper, possibly over-aggression, as Waffle takes a lot of damage there. 63, now turning into 75%. Miko not even at that 25% marker. The yo-yo going to miss due to those iframes, and now it's going to be a forward smash that buys a little bit more time for Waffle. Sonic speed is what his character is all about. It feels like Waffle's struggling to use that a little bit as Miko's constantly trying to cover these approaches.
Yeah, Miko does a lot of empty hops, drifting back, trying to bait out an option that they can maybe react to, but you're still going to get caught by that little exchange. 2 F smashes put you off stage again. They go for a third. Greedy, but they're tied up dead even until that homing attack. Now it's Miko Rising in the corner.
Miko Rising in the corner, that's the top right corner. Kissing that blast zone just a bit. It looks like they're going to meet it a little bit closer face to face. Miko Rising losing that first stock there. Waffle, I mean, honestly, a rough start. Was up to 60% before Miko took a hit, but now finding that first stock, a great pace changer here. It's going to be that hyper aggression from this Sonic moving forward. That forward air doing numbers on Miko so far, but Ness, strongest back throw in the game. That is going to take Waffle into that blast zone.
And now, I thought that was going to be an identical situation to what we saw the first time, but that time Waffle had their jump. They're able to get out of that combo. Nice shield right there from Miko Rising to escape that little exchange. And now, sitting here in the center stage, it's just a lot of little pokes, but no real huge combo starters from either of them. You're looking for a confirm.
Yeah, no massive combo starters so far. The confirms are going to be the name of the game. And Waffle's favorite engagement tool is notably that forward air. We're seeing that a lot. We're seeing that aggression come through with it. That constant push. And I think Nico is starting to recognize that pattern. It's pretty apparent. And I think we're really going to see that start to hurt Waffle more and more the further we get into the series if there's not a change.
Yeah, as these F smashes, they're so lagless, but overuse of them can still get you punished. Absolutely. Even when they, I mean, like you said, Sonic all about the speed. Even in the frame data, that F smash, it's so hard to challenge because of its priority, and then, man. Every time it does that, it's like a tilt! Look at it!
Even those lagless moves can be punished if your opponent's ready for them, right? I mean, if they just simply stay out of the way, play a little bit further of a distance, and run away with it, that can be great for Miko Rising, but Waffle so far is just doing a phenomenal job finding these small hits, finding these little punches, this chip damage here and there, and it adds up quick with Sonic being so fast. And like you said, that forward smash, it is doing numbers for Siena right now.
And Waffle is okay to play this hit-and-run play style right now. They're actually able to snap to ledge through that yo-yo right there. Good spacing on the up B and using the back air to get off of ledge. At this point, Waffle is in Miko Rising's head. You're playing this lead so well. Miko Rising needs a very big clutch play. That back air could be the start.
That back air could be huge here. Miko 63%. Now Ness not particularly heavy, but 71's definitely not a kill confirm against a player like Sonic. It's going to be Waffle looking to farm as much damage as possible. 71 turns to 92, turns to 110. That forward smash, that lagless ability, like you said, a massive one. And now it's going to be grab into down throw, actually. So we see Miko going for a combo. Unfortunately, loses it pretty early. Really not utilizing the back throws, and that's surprising to me, Miles. I mean, back throw is such a strong move for Ness.
Yeah, but when you need the damage at low percent, it's down throw every time. As now you need more damage. You need a way to get them racking up forward throw to put them off stage. You want that positioning. You're able to interrupt the recovery with that PK fire. Now it all comes down to that. They're able to get that 2-frame with the yo-yo finally. They've been going for it all game, and they're finally able to hit that tricky ledge hang animation, finish them off.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like you said, we saw Miko Rising go for that quite a few times. That yo-yo really seemed to be their primary ledge catch engagement. They were looking for that 2-frame over and over. Third, maybe even fifth time is the charm there for Miko, and they're able to walk away with a one-stock victory. And Miles, I've got to say, what a way to turn around. It felt like Waffle was in charge of that match for, I'd say, 80, 90%, and then Miko Rising right at the very end there, able to take that stock out from underneath them and put a point on the board for Canisius.
Yeah, and that is such a crucial point. Honestly, I felt it was possible, even with Miko Rising down so much.
Right.
I felt it was possible since that first exchange, where Miko Rising proved how deadly their punish game is, how one mistake could lead to a stock loss if Miko Rising plays it right. Now?
Yeah. Now we just got to see. I'm looking here, moving into game 2, Miles. I'm looking at a little bit of change of play from Waffle. I liked a lot of what we saw, but one of my biggest kind of peeves watching this game is that predictability, that consistency we see from a lot of players. And the further you get into a series, the more and more dangerous that becomes. We saw Waffle loves those forward airs, love those forward smashes, and those moves, while they are fast, if your opponent is ready for them, can absolutely be taken advantage of. And I think the further into this we get, the more Waffle brings that out, the more dangerous this is going to be for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, though, especially in game 1, because it's not like you're going to be super ready for that barrage. I mean, it's like a rapid jab just coming out again and again, just like again and again and again, throwing out that pretty safe forward smash. And again, that can beat out a lot of Ness's forward airs, and you've got to keep in mind, Sonic doesn't really have any disjoints besides that forward smash. So it's not technically a forward smash. What I think that is they forgot to put a vulnerability hitbox on the hand, so it's more or less fully intangible. It's just a sword. But against Ness, you take what you can get, as Ness is the same thing with his psychic power.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, personally, I'd like to see the Sonic down taunt a little more. No competitive reason. I just think it's silly. It makes me laugh. It's one of my favorites in the game. But, you know, jokes aside, this Ness versus Sonic matchup is really, as we mentioned, a lot about pacing and a lot about timing. And I think timing is what it came down to. We saw a little bit of a timing diff. Miko Rising was able to find that combo right at the very end, take that final stock away from Waffle and seal the deal for Canisius. Can they do it again, or will we see a third stage? Only time will tell. We're going to have to wait and see coming up into this next match. First of all, what stage we end up on, and second of all, who walks away with that win?
Yeah, and I think one of the big things you've got to keep in mind is it's not like it was one mistake and then you got completely reversal. No, it was Miko Rising who took the initial lead, and then they got brought back by Waffles. And then, even though Waffles had a pretty substantial lead, Miko Rising was the one to finish it off. It's not like they're just... It's not like they're just vanishing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It wasn't a case of one player cleaning up their gameplay. They were both on equal footing. And we'll see again who takes the lead in this close opening set between one of the most dominant teams of the league and Canisius looking to get an upset.
A very close set indeed, Miles. And like you said, Siena, one of the most dominant teams in the league right now in the EGFC. Canisius already giving them an early run for their money here. We've seen Siena, you said, with the one loss, I believe, the one loss go down so far, and that is just Canisius looking to double that, right? They're looking to find that second one. Ness really starting off strong here, Miko Rising, putting a name out early for Canisius. But Siena, you know, they could just be getting warmed up.
Yep, and as they try to get warmed up, you know the rest of their players are taking notes, looking for any opportunities to help their teammate. In general, I'm kind of scared looking at the rest of this roster. I haven't seen Siena all year, and I'm just looking at it and war flashbacks as I look at the rest of this roster. This Sonic is almost an insurmountable wall that Miko Rising barely managed to climb game one, and they've still got so much more to go.
They have got, I mean, they have taken an inch, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to run the mile with the brick wall of a team that Siena truly is. Canisius, they start off strong, they find the 1 point, but now Waffle's still struggling a little bit. A great combo, a great mix-up there for Miko Rising. Really yeah,
the soft hit Nair actually tripped, which was able to extend that, and now, well, in that one little exchange, in this neutral, Waffle is able to even it out, but there's that out of shield option I was calling out. If you hit shield with anything that's not spin dash that lets you get away free, you're gonna get nared, and that's just chip damage you can't afford to take when Miko Rising is always building towards that kill throw.
Miko Rising, every Ness's second favorite kill confirm, right? Grab back throw. They're going to try for that 2-frame first, but if that don't work, that back throw certainly will. That's going to be Miko Rising's kind of bread and butter here, kind of their name of the game. Right now, Miko up to 90% and trying to catch out a little bit. I like that they didn't go for the 2-frame there. They're trying to avoid the predictability. They're trying to avoid the conditioning that the yo-yo is always going to make an appearance, and I think that can go a long way. Oh, that isn't going to go nearly as far, though.
Yeah, not far at all as now. Ooh, just a little tap from that spring, but you're fine. Little gentleman to put you back into neutral. Now, you've got to search for the way to even this up. We've seen Miko Rising win from deficits before, but you don't want to have to win from the deficit. You want to win with 3 stocks if you can. Get as many points on the board if possible. And getting this disadvantage situation, jump use, but nice stall on that homing attack to save yourself.
Yeah, great stall on the homing attack to keep yourself alive. Oh, but are you going to be alive for much longer? Waffle up to 141. You know, there's that bright side of the full range now. Everything's going to hurt just a little bit more. And it looks like Waffle's trying to take full advantage of that. Miko Rising gets caught out by the punch there. I think it may have eaten the jump. I'm not positive, but now Waffle finally going to lose that first stock. A great position to walk away with this second set.
Yeah, and now, ooh. Well, you're just going to be eating a little bit of poke damage in the neutral. The spin dash, though, is always just so hard to deal with. It catches landings so well. You know how a lot of people like to catch dash landings with dash attack? That's just spin dash the move, except your dash attack is not stage.
Absolutely. Waffle now taking quite a bit of damage here. It's important to note, still a full stock in the lead. A little bit of a slower pace from the both of them there. Both land into shield. Nobody wants to take that free damage if they can avoid it. 7% differential now, a full stock in favor of Waffle. And Siena, they need at least 2 stocks if they want to take the lead, right? 1 stock to tie things up, 2 to take the lead going into game 3. And right now, Waffle really trying to find this stock out of Miko, but Miko changing the pace once again, playing a little bit slower, catching these engagements on the way in, and really doing some damage with them.
Yeah, I mean, forcing a juggle situation like this is a great way to start, but you need a better way to find the kill. You need to at least get them off stage where they can make a decision. You have a little bit of control, but instead, Miko Rising is the one who finds themselves off stage. Can they make it back?
123 to 121, and ooh, Waffle almost able to send Miko into the blast zone, catches out with the spring, but I believe the recovery still happening already, and oh! Waffle jumps right into it, Miles! Oh, perhaps a little bit overzealous, a little bit of a misunderstanding, but either way, losing that stock. That best case scenario, we're tied 1-1 going into game 3.
Yeah, now this is getting scary. This is getting dicey because we've seen one exchange from Miko Rising can end this straight out. And the fact that they're getting the skip damage, it's not going to matter though. That little spin twister from the Sonic forward air is going to send Miko Rising off. Tied 1-1 right now between Siena and Canisius. And Sepp, I want to tell you something. This is not the first time this season the two of them have played. I've been doing a little digging, little research. This
what do we got?
Was game 1 of the season. This was opening day for them. Canisius versus Siena. And, well, Siena walked away 22-5. So
dang!
It's not easy to get any points on the board, but at least Canisius has shown their ability to get a few.
Yeah, we've got at least one on the board right now, right? So we're 5 shy of having a better score than the last time. That's honestly not surprising to hear that Siena would walk away so dominantly. They have been such an aggressive team, like you mentioned, this entire season, and I don't expect that to change from 1 week to the next. They are gunning for at least a top 3 spot this year in the EGFC. And as we move into this 3rd stage, I guess I want to ask Miles, is there any stage in particular that you're thinking we may see make an appearance here in Game 3?
Honestly, I see that it was actually the small stage that Waffles wanted to go to, which is odd to me because that's not originally what I had thought. But hey,
right.
It worked out well for them. The small stage really meant you didn't have a lot of room to breathe. So I think, well, when someone likes a small stage, go the polar opposite. Take them somewhere big. I know you may have some mileage on Town and City. I mean, both Sonic and Ness kill off the sides,
right.
But Ness can kill off the sides a little bit earlier with well, if you get surprise DI on that back throw. But either way, I also wouldn't mind a triplat. A lot of good extensions you can get off of that. But it is going to actually be Kalos, so it is going to be one of those bigger stages, and you can try and get some more traps by the ledge and kill early off the side thanks to those side platforms.
Yeah, those side platforms go a little bit crazy for players who kill off the side like our Nesses, like our Sonics. And Kalos also has a pretty stinking high ceiling, I believe, so it's going to be important to note that while these players... Oh, actually, yeah, okay, so either way, the original point does stand that these players are really going to be struggling to kill off the top, right? Ness and Sonic certainly not notorious for any ability that moves upwards, so it's going to be all about who has control, not only of center stage, which I often talk about, but also these platforms. I think the platforms are going to be the technical win condition.
Oh no.
Rough start?
I mean, there's no other thing to say. You just messed up. You may be hoping to land on the platform, but either way, you've got to move on. You've got to move past it because you've got a huge deficit to make up on Miko Rising's counter pick.
That is just a rough... one of those speechless moments for me, Miles. That's so... unbelievably unfortunate. It's going to be Waffle losing that stock early, and now every single point is so... or every single point of percent, every single percent is so crucial here because Waffle has to dig themselves out of an insanely deep hole. And it is not
as they
good.
Ooh. And Miko Rising, Their lead does afford them to go for risky plays like using that PK Thunder aggressively, but I wouldn't lean too heavily on that because, well, sometimes losing that stock is the wake-up call you need to make your game plan extraordinarily clean. As now you can see, it's Waffle getting better into that chip, but trading out 1-for-1 thanks to that little extension with the magnet.
I like that play a lot, though. The recovery straight into forward air catches out Mikkel near that first stock. The back air might be able to find something, but not quite that kill confirmed, not close enough to ledge. That would have been an insane forward smash, but unfortunately falls just a little bit short, trying to grind away the shield. Now catches out the PK Fire, misses the forward tilt, the grab back throw. Are they close enough to the side? Looks like that's not going to be the case. PK Thunder not going to catch, but that up air certainly will. Mikkel Rising taking that second stock. Miles, a 3-stock here would be crazy for Canisius, and Mikkel is looking for one.
On the platform, they missed the PK Thunder. Unfortunate, as now Waffle gets another chance, but they're still being peppered, still being pressured, but now it's Mikkel Rising's turn to land. Are they able to make it down? No, goes for the forward smash read at center, and not enough reach on that to, well, even remotely hit. Instead, they're stuffed out by the PK Fire. You can tell Mikkel Rising is feeling themselves right now as Waffle tries to stabilize.
Oh, Mikkel really doing a great job already, though. Even to win this with 2 stocks really gives your team a very large amount of points, and that is going to be what they need moving into game 1. They were only able to net 4 last time. I believe winning with 2 stocks gives them 4 points, so it's going to be pretty important to note that... Miles, what is going on?
Semblance, I cannot say. I cannot say. They
still, all of a sudden, Waffle's back in this.
Controller is DCing, someone just said. As well, they're trading 1-for-1 in terms of SD stocks. Last stop right now as we try and they've chosen to play this out, and so we will stick with them as it is Waffle getting closer to this kill percent. We've seen it this percent. They're getting close to the range where getting caught up by an up air at the wrong part of the stage will just lead to your death.
What a weird match. An SD from both sides. Very weird moments as well. Possibly some controller DCs, like you said, on both sides. Maybe just on one. But either way, we are down to last stock. I'm going to call this last hit scenario as well. It looks like that is going to be our last hit. The yo-yo catch all over again, Miles. Just like back in game 1. It is going to be that yo-yo catch that makes an appearance. And now, Canisius, they have taken the lead here in game 1 of the set.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And we'll take a little bit of a look back because... even though there were 2 stocks gone, it was still 2 stocks to 2 stocks, 2 full stocks that were played out, and that's what you need to be seeing. Those edge guards right there. I'm curious what happened here. Oh, they air dodged, and I guess they did not have a jump, and I don't think you can up B again, because you didn't touch the stage again, so even if you did have a jump, yeah.
There he goes. So
sad.
Much sadder in slow motion. Very sad to watch him just kind of drift away. Oh, yeah. Very unfortunate series of events. I was a huge fan of that kill from Mikkel Rising. I feel like we didn't see the up air particularly often from that Ness, and I think that really made a lot of space. It was an unexpected move. There was no sense of conditioning that it was going to happen, and it was a really smart call to throw that move out right there.
Yeah, I mean, forcing that air dodge with that up B is something that Mikkel Rising does.
There it is. There's the other one.
Yep. Happens to the best of us. But, yeah. One thing that I did want to call out from Mikkel Rising that I love to see is that they were calling out those forward smashes hard. Not with a move, with a spot dodge. Perfect timing because I feel like that F smash is good to charge away from Ness. So if they try to approach with a forward air, you can just beat it out with the big old punch. However, when you're doing it on their shield, I don't think it's entirely safe. And especially when they're able to get spot dodge reads because you're doing it so consistently, then you're messing up because on shield, maybe you can get away. But on a spot dodge, they're going to hit you hard.
Yeah, you know, back in game 1, I talked about how I was worried that predictability was going to come back and bite them, and I think we saw that a couple of times. But that is going to be that series coming to a close. We've got another one coming up in just a couple of minutes. Full transparency with you, chat. I forgot to get a drink, like water, next to me, so I need to go do that. We're going to throw it to a super short, like maybe 2-minute break, and we'll see you folks right back here for some more SSBU in just a couple of minutes. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for some more EGFC SSBU. I am Hydrated, and I'm also Septulence, joined by Killer Miles. We're going to be jumping right back in. Canisius up 4-1 over the behemoth known as Siena College this year in the EGFC. And Miles, I just got to talk about that first series, incredible. But it's crazy because the further we get into this series, the stronger players we are going to be seeing from both sides. These clashes are going to get harder and harder and harder for both sides to win, and that is just going to be a really interesting kind of feed to watch as we get further into this series.
Yeah, I mean, we did see previously that Canisius was able to get a leg up on Siena. I mean, it was 5-22. It was not a complete shutout, right. But now you've got to try to turn things around. It is going to be Weebson on the Dark Pit against Bivers is Falco right here. And right away, I mean, this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a lot of whiff punishing like that because Bivers is fishing for that one big combo opening.
Right, Bivers needs one move and it turns into 35 moves, right? And that's what Falco is all about, finding that combo opener and just running with it. Weebson now doing a great job spacing, zoning out Bivers, making it difficult to engage. And I think Bivers is going to struggle to find engagements. We've got this neutral B arrow charge, we've got the forward smash, we've got the down special. A lot of moves from Weebson are going to interrupt anything Bivers wants to bring out.
Canisius looking incredibly prepared for this, though.
They're looking
there's
like
that one opener, 72%. Now it's not so even.
Yeah, not so even at all. But I've got to say, with Canisius' playstyle so far, the two players we have seen, it looks like they've studied the side of Siena. It looks like they have looked at some VODs. They have looked at this team in particular. And again, Miles, second set in a row, we're seeing that happen.
All right, I mean, I was about to say, now we arrive at the struggle. Dark Pit does struggle to kill a lot of the time. You often need a hard read or an edge guard. You can get edge guards on Falco, especially because you've got disjointed moves, but it's still going to be very tough against a Falco like Bivers. You got to put a lot of pressure on them off stage. Oh, that's a nice extension, though, into the nair.
Oh, not quite that kill confirmed, though. I thought Weebson was going to be biting the bullet there, but now that side special comes through, catches Bivers out right off the ledge. And the kill confirm, definitely available for Bivers. They just have to get close enough to be able to bring it back out. I really like Weebson's playstyle so far, and it's going to be caught out by Bivers there, but 70% extra credit already on the board. So by no means is Weebson worried about what's happening quite yet. There's still plenty of opportunity to win this matchup.
Yeah, there is, as you're able to shield poke with that nair now. Bivers is going to get that opener, that down tilt out of shield, and they just go for the double up tilt. But good DI away from Weebson right there to avoid getting hit by another one. Now you have the opportunity, but you're being pressured on that shield. Oh! Doesn't really have the options, but that hard call out, and that, woo! Somehow they spaced underneath that reflector. I guess they just waited out that timing. Is now you're able to get this edge guard again. Did you get another one?
I've got to say, Bivers is really relying on this side special a lot, and that feels like a very punishable move. What a breakdown from Weebson. They're trying to demolish the shield as quick as they can, but unfortunately, Bivers just not able to capitalize on that time to strike. 158 on the second stock. Weebson, I feel like I'm just saying it over and over, but really doing a great job capitalizing on every mistake Bivers makes.
Yeah, but now Bivers slowing the pace of the game down, making Weebson feel very uncomfortable, poking at that shield, but Weebson not swinging immediately out of the parry. That's good. And they're able to stay cool, stay calm, and get that forward for the kill.
Oh. Bivers finally picking up a little bit of damage. Weebson about to reach that triple-digit threshold there on that second stock. A great shield up off of the ledge, but not quite that damage confirmed Bivers is looking for. Short hop into forward air. It's going to be a great open nair, excuse me. Into nair is going to be able to find Bivers 9%, but that was enough to interrupt whatever combo that Falco was about to bring to the table.
Is now, ooh, able to jump away. This is getting a little dicey for Weebson. You want to hold on to this stock as long as you can, but these disjoints are the tail of this match, Septulence. So many times you're just completely beating out with so many of Bivers' moves. Now trying to get back to the stage. I don't hate that use of the side B right there.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree. I feel like it was a good opening there. It was a great space maker. And Weebson up to 130. I feel like Falco doesn't typically struggle on finding kill confirms, and I feel like Bivers right now really is. We're seeing a lot of struggle to get close enough to do damage, let alone find a kill confirm. And then after this stock, you've got to get all the way through a third one. Bivers 70% on their third and final stock. Finally, going to be able to catch that out. A great shield into forward smash against Weebson, and now pressure's on. Bivers 80% and counting. Weebson just now entering that third stock threshold.
Yes, now you get the grab, you put Bivers off stage. Like I said, these edge guards are where you're going to find a lot of your kills on the ledge trapping, on the edge guards, but that's a big overcommitment right there, and they go all the way down with the down air. Are you able to drip back to ledge? No! Weebson gimped at the lowest of low percents. And Bivers at the last second able to turn that around.
Bivers, I mean, giving us their best Miko Rising impression, right? The very last second, able to turn things around and find a win. I can't believe Bivers went so low, to be honest, Miles. I mean, that was a risk, surprisingly not worth taking. We see this straight-up recovery, and now it looks like we're gonna a whiffed forward air. So Weebson may have hesitated due to that forward air. I'm not sure if that was kind of a fright situation or if they simply weren't going to reach that even with magnet hands. Let me look at that one more time.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think what they were trying to do, maybe.
Oh, no, I just think they weren't making it.
Well, yeah, they weren't making it. I think they were maybe trying to go straight up to avoid being hit by Falco's recovery, because that multi-hit can just sometimes stage spike you because of the weird timing. You can't always get the tech. However, yeah, it's just unfortunate. But either way, it does bode well that Weebson was able to control the pace of the game for the majority of that.
Yeah.
I mean, playing around those disjoints.
That's kind of what I was trying to talk about when I said it feels like Canisius really studied for this, because Bivers is a very strong player. When I think of Falco, I often find myself thinking of Bivers, a very clean, competitive player, and Weebson had an answer for everything Bivers was throwing out today. That is not something that a player just comes out and accidentally does. That feels like something that Canisius has gone out of their way to study, to focus on. And with Siena being one of the top dogs, right, in the EGFC right now, it would be foolish of a team to not study them. We can see that studying has been done, and it is paying off in dividends. Miko Rising walks away with the first series. Weebson mere seconds, 10 percentages away from being able to win that first game as well. It is really showing the work is being done by Canisius tonight.
Yeah, I really do appreciate what we've seen so far. It really does feel like, hey, they sit down, they see this target on Siena's back, and they're lining up their shot as best they can. But as much time as you take to line it up, you've got to find a way to pull that trigger and actually land it, actually execute on what you've been studying for, and hope the skill difference does not play out. So far, though, that skill difference, it's looking incredibly thin right now. I do feel like the punishes have been a little cleaner from Siena's players, but hey, if you're winning the neutral the majority of the time because of how much you've studied their VODs, maybe that punish doesn't matter as much.
Jumping into Kalos once again. Second time we're going to be seeing Kalos today, I believe. It's going to be a lot of platform play once again. So I think this actually could work out relatively well for Bivers. I think you can find these combo extensions off of the side blast zone where Falco is definitely able to kill at the end of those combos. But again, I think Weebson can capitalize on them just as well, if not even a little bit better.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Bivers is showing some aggression off stage early on. They want to be able to get these kills as fast as possible. And weirdly enough, I have not seen that reflector hit the dark arrow once. I have seen the dark arrow hit, though. I mean, I'm not really sure how that's playing out.
I feel like Bivers is intentionally trying to not condition the reflector out for a lot of this damage, but at the same time, I feel like Bivers maybe isn't using it as much as you'd expect just in general, even past the sense of not conditioning a move to your opponent. I just feel like Bivers is kind of forgetting they have it a little bit. I think the reflector can go a really long way against a character like Pitt, and I would like to see it a little bit more, especially with what Bivers is doing now. A lot of these re-engagements on the stage, they're using it a lot to create space, to make sure projectiles don't come out just like that.
Now they're starting to get a little more.
Yeah.
Hurt me, timing it a little bit earlier. I've seen them throwing it out, but air dodging really far out. And they're trading with that recovery, but they're able to just barely squeeze through, but they're sent right on out again. But again, when you go for that arrow and it gets reflected, you lose your ability to try and ledge trap.
Right. Losing the ability to try an edge trap. It's a scary thing. It's very difficult to succeed without. Grab into up throw. Kalos a much higher blast zone than a lot of other stages here. It's going to be 132. Even that isn't going to kill. Falco, at least not to my knowledge, notorious for his throws. Not traditionally used for a lot of kill confirms. Maybe the back throw is traditionally the strongest throw for a lot of characters. But right now, 150 on the board, and that top blast zone is so far away. Bivers just not able to find this stock.
Now, Every single little hit like that is so scary when you're at 176%. I saw that up smash connect out of shield, and I'm like, uh-oh. As now, Weebson, the final landing hitbox of that forward air is going to catch you out. Now you've got to try and get off of the ledge against that Nair is going to finish you off. 2 stocks to 2.
What a good read there from Bivers. Short hop Nair able to catch out Weebson. Taking that second stock about 30% less than Bivers often was back in game 1. We saw Bivers finding a stock being at about 70% in a 1-stock deficit. So now it's going to be only 50% on board. Bivers halfway to tying this up completely across the board.
And you would love to see that. You'd love it a lot. As now, a nice call out right there on that attempted landing. Now, you've got the opportunity to try and edge guard them. No chance. Oh, they rode up the side of the stage to avoid that 2-frame. Beautiful timing mix-up from Bivers right there.
A scary one. A scary mix-up there, because things can definitely go south. You can do that a little bit wrong, miss the 2-frame, and then it's disastrous. But Bivers, right now, there's more of that over-aggression that I love to see from Falco players just like this. I love the utilization of that down air. I think it's a great combo opener for Falco, and Bivers is really starting to run away with that idea.
And Weebson looking like Ken and Ryu with this focus. I mean, these shields, again and again, are letting them land, and they're actually able to get a punish immediately afterwards, because they throw out the shields when they know Bivers is going to use a big move.
157 to 109, and this could be the real pace changer, the real tide turner of this matchup so far. I mean, it could be the first one to lose that second stock and find themselves in a serious situation toward disaster. Bivers now 157, full rage on the board. I'd say just a couple of good hits away from being able to take Weebson's second stock. Oh, the side special in, a really dangerous thing to do, but Weebson wasn't ready for it, not able to punish off the back, and I think I'd like to see more up smashes here from Bivers. I feel like Weebson is falling on top of them a lot.
Yeah, but that forward throw, that's going to kill. Hit one of the few characters with a killing forward throw. I say killing forward throw. They were at 170, but still. Now, you've got to try and land. They've gotten a lot of mileage out of these B-reverse shields. You've got to find a better wave down to the ground, though, down where you can actually get a hit on Bivers. That throw, though, a nice way to start it out. Down throw into Nair, and now they're chasing them off stage, not able to finish.
That first stock being gone from Bivers all of a sudden turns into the second. All of a sudden, 40% on the third, finding a little bit of damage. Going to go off the top blast zone. It feels like that's where Bivers wants to find kills a lot of the time, but Kalos in particular is a tough stage to kill off the top. It's got an insanely high top blast zone, and I think Weebson may have chosen this for that very reason. That's going to be a lot of great back and forth. Bivers getting ready to tie things up here in terms of percentiles. Only 1 stock away from being able to walk away with the set.
We've been here before, Sepulence. This is where things could turn around in a big way, as now you're fishing for this kill at ledge. You've had Bivers here so much, but Weebson hasn't got a ton of hard punishes. Now's your chance. Now's your time to shine.
Time to shine is definitely making an appearance. Bivers looking for a kill once again. Going to be able to get it up to 70%. Certainly not killing off the top, and Kalos at 70. Going to have to rack up, I'd say, maybe 20, 30% more. A 20% differential, 20.2 between the two of them right now. Weebson able to catch it out with that spam attack. Oh, a whipped Nair.
And now the up tilt, it puts them off stage. Up tilt back air. It's a dead even game right now as Bivers looks to finish off this edge guard using that down air at ledge, but they can't quite do it. There's that side B punish that you were talking about. They finally get it, and they interrupt the recovery. But the side B just barely reaches.
Oh, no, not the snipe. Still able to make it back, perhaps maybe a little bit too low, but the recovery does come through. Bivers, the kill screen had already made an appearance. We thought it was over, but Bivers comes back to life. The side special misses the capitalization off the back of it. I believe that was the down air coming out from Weebson. Bivers 166 refuses to die, but Weebson, I mean, let's say one half decent hit away from being able to take that third and final stock.
Yeah, and now they're pressuring this. Bivers not rushing in, slowing the pace of the game down, trying to get a read, though, with that forward smash shows they're getting antsy. They want this kill to be over. One grab, one Nair. Could that be it? No. They still hang on to life. Our second kill screen, as now you've got to edge trap again. I do love that Weebson tries not to get reversals right there. One good back air, though, could do it right now.
Oh, no. Bivers just refusing to lose right now. 179 has to use the special to get back up on the stage, looking for the opportunity to strike. Whips a forward smash, and now a down special is going to be missed out, but finally it is going to be picked up. I believe a forward smash from Weebson. That was a little too fast for me to catch, but either way, Weebson putting the second game away, forcing us all the way to our second stage 3.
Yeah, and honestly, a beautiful set of events leading to that. The fact that Weebson was able to hold onto their lead almost the entire game. I mean, that wasn't like a very swinging match like we saw in game 1.
Right.
That was more just Weebson getting a lot of the outplays. And even though they're missing a lot of the edge guards, a lot of ledge traps, they're getting a lot of good conditioning in those situations. And now, the one little caveat to everything I just said. The one clutch moment was Bivers in those last few moments. Signs of life right now from Bivers as, well, it was a last hit, last stock scenario.
I just cannot believe how long Bivers lived. What were we at, 180, I believe? Nearly 200% before Bivers finally goes down. I mean, that is just insane. Falco, I don't believe is particularly heavy. I don't think he's super light either, but, I mean, to live up to 180 is shocking for a lot of characters in this game.
Yeah, it's a basic thing, but saving your jump like that saves your life in so many scenarios. And Falco is such a short up B, you get used to saving your jump. You get used to it because you need to. That double jump, so high, it's lift off every single time. However, if you don't have it unlocked, then you're forced to rely solely on the Firebird. That's never gonna work out.
Never a great idea. And I've got to say, you know, Canisius really starting off strong here. They've already net more points than they were able to last time against Siena. Only a point, but hey, that is progress. And right now, they're in the lead. Not by much. Even a one-stock win here for Siena can tie things up and completely reset the board going into our third matchup. But right now, Canisius, like I said, it feels like they have studied the matchups against Siena, and they are just running away with them so far.
Yeah, I mean, Canisius already at their record of where they held Siena last time. We'll see if they're able to get even farther past that right now. As 2 games does not make a set victory. Siena still has a major shot in this, but they have earned us staying a little biased towards Siena because they are the number 2 team, only dropping 1 game the entire season to Manhattan College. Siena is looking strong. Yeah, Manhattan.
Interesting. Definitely would not have been my guess there. Manhattan College, a very strong team, though. I think I've only seen them once this year, if I'm being honest, but I know they are a good team, a strong team. This is, I just got to say, my hat off to Canisius again. I agree with you completely. Siena absolutely expected to win this. Number 2, that is not something you do on accident. They have worked for that. They have earned that spot. And Canisius right now, though, they are really unbelievably giving this team a run for their money. How many times already have we been to a last stock, last hit scenario? We're only in the second set, Miles, and I think we've seen at least 3. Yeah,
we're in the second set, and it feels like the 4th. They are milking these games for all they are worth, Sepulence.
All they are worth, maybe even a little bit more. They are giving us an incredible series across the board. I mean, it has just been amazing to see this. And I know Canisius, we're still waiting to see the players that I kind of associate with this team, right? We have yet to see Flatjack. We haven't seen A-Fly. Those are the 2 that are always incredibly strong. The anchors, those follow-through positions. And Siena, like you mentioned earlier, their roster all the way down the board is terrifying. They are an incredible team, incredibly well-rounded. And like I mentioned, the further into this we get, the closer, shockingly, I think these matches could get even closer than what we're seeing.
Yeah, and that is honestly one of the most terrifying things because we still haven't seen all Siena has to offer, but hey, Canisius, they're showing us everything and more. It's all on the table, cards down. They are looking to end it here and now in the face-off. So we'll see in game 3 if Siena is able to tie things up or if Weebson is able to take the lead for Canisius.
Small battlefield. I like this a lot. I feel like all the blast zones are maybe a little bit tighter. You've got a lot less room to run than Kalos, and it's going to be a lot more face-to-face engagement, which is where Falco is going to shine. I think that's going to be Bivers' objective here, is to not let Weebson get much further than 10 feet away at any given time, looking to take these stocks as quickly and efficiently as possible. Already up to 65%.
Yeah, a lot of nice drag downs with that nair, but now you're off stage. This is where Weebson has gotten a lot of their mileage. And even though they have gotten punished a lot of times by their reflected dark arrows since that second game, that was a hard call out right there, but Pick can actually combo out of that up smash. Not a lot of lag at the end of it, so I don't mind them throwing it out in neutral like that.
Yeah, a bit of a funky move, but one that definitely can work well. It's going to be 92% against Weebson here. Doing a great job, though, really starting to catch out Bivers. Those early combos made an appearance, and now Weebson has really learned these approaches, learned these traditional Falco combos, and is taking full advantage of the recoveries Bivers is trying to bring to the table, taking that first stock offline. Starting super strong here in the third matchup for Siena, but now a full stock deficit against them.
Yeah. Ooh, air dodging out of that little string right there. Now Bivers is going to be pressuring in center stage, but then they get rapid jab. Nair to send him off stage. Here's the edge guard. Where do you go from here? That's the question.
Oh.
The spike, though, into the forward air. Nice.
Wow.
I mean, that's top knee budget.
I'm shocked at that kill. I felt like Weebson was moving a little bit too slow for that to end up in the blast zone. Perhaps a little bit of bad DI, maybe sealed the deal. Who knows? Either way, a kill is a kill. Regardless, now a 3% differential is going to turn into 9, is going to turn into 16, and now we're going to be going even larger. It's going to be Bivers trying to make this percentile go as quickly and efficiently as possible. That damage coming out, though, from Weebson. It feels like every time Bivers really starts to get rolling, really starts to get moving, Weebson is right there to catch out that combo and interrupt any and all momentum.
Yeah, it's looking beautiful right now. Ooh, nice little reflect right there to get things going. As already, Weebson is at a deficit, which is something we've seen.
That's what I'm so scared about. I was clenching on Kalos the entire time. I was afraid exactly that was going to happen. And here on Small Battlefield, there's no wall jumps. That's what Bivers really utilized to play that game a lot on Kalos was wall jump, wall jump, wall jump. And with that SD, Miles, our 5th SD of today, of the series, I hate to say that Bivers may have just sealed the deal of the matchup.
I don't know. That
all right. There we go.
Dead even game. Bivers showing that they have the stronger punish game. No.
That's unfortunate. I'm just going to hope that that's on our end only and not in-game. That would be rather unfortunate. That was a once. Okay, yeah, so we DC'd. That's good to hear. You know, sucks that someone DC'd, but hey, at least it was us. The game can continue on. We don't have to reset anything. We bow out at a 1 stock differential. No, not even a 1 stock differential, excuse me. 1 stock on the board for both players. That was a full-blown reset. I think Bivers was at like 11%. I mean, that was going to be a nail-biter of a finish.
Yeah, and we're going to be able to see what the outcome of that is in just a little bit. But, I mean, the 2 possible outcomes, we've talked them to death. And the one thing I want to do, I do want to call out, is how Bivers looked determined as they opened that up. And even though Weebson was able to keep it even, sometimes when you get to that game 3, and you just open up with a super strong punish like that, like, up tilt nair drag downs like that, that's not something you do when you're panicking. That is cold, calculated Bivers. And we'll see if they're able to bring that into the finish, or if in the scramble, Weebson with their superior prep time is going to take it home.
Yeah, and Miles, I feel like we might want to get like an SD counter and put it up somewhere. I feel like we've seen, what, 5 SDs today? I think 2 of them were controller disconnects, so that's a little different. But still, I just feel like we don't see them very often, and it's a bit comedic, comical that we have seen so many already today.
Yeah, it's...
Well, comedic for us. For the players, maybe not so much.
Listen, Sep. Both these players, both these teams, they are practicing hard for this, they're practicing hard for the in-person LAN finals. So, hey, listen, they haven't been on the Wi-Fi. They haven't been on that quick play grind. They're not on the match anymore.
I was going to say, I'm actually really excited for when we get to that point, because there are a lot of players who have told me, just kind of outside of EGFC, they're like, this is not who I usually play. Like, I only play this character online. So there is a very small chance that some of these players make it to the in-person event and bring out a character we have never seen them play before. And I think that will be very, very interesting when that day arises. But that day, unfortunately, is not too soon. And hey, whoa! The score update, that is going to be a 5-5. That means Bivers has to walk away with that win there to tie things back up and entering Game 3, Miles. I always say Game 3 is the most pivotal game for these teams. That is where one of these teams can really walk away with a lead. And as we tied up, I mean, this is essentially a 0-0, right? We're essentially wiping the board clean. It's going to be a best-of-3 scenario. I truly believe this can still go either way.
Yeah, I mean, and I misread earlier. It was actually 3-22 in the initial game. So you've already broken your record, but can you change history even more? Can you rewrite it in this 14th week? That is the question that we've got to decide here and now, because listen, here come the heavy hitters. Here come the champions that Siena University has, or Siena College, sorry, has been putting up on display. I'm curious who it's going to be first.
Miles, this is going to be an incredibly fascinating matchup. We are going to have from Canisius College A-Fly, notorious Game & Watch player, arguably the best Game & Watch player in the EGFC, going up against Siena's Pango, who is a Steve player, arguably the best Steve player, maybe the only Steve player we have here in the EGFC. Now, this is a matchup, full disclosure, I know for a fact I have never seen before. And I think this is going to be insane because both of these players rely on such niche things to succeed. I got to give a huge advantage to Pango here, though, because I think Steve, A-Fly playing Game & Watch. Game & Watch is like 10 pounds, maybe. And Steve, he hits hard, insanely hard, at very low percent.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to the confirms for me. Because, listen. Sometimes with floatier characters like Game & Watch is, you can get things like up tilt, up smash, for example. However, you may just be able to up B out of that. However, if you're always up being straight out of that, maybe you can get some other reads. It's a lot of mix-ups like that. Now, one thing you do have to keep in mind for sure, A-Fly, they're a very unique Game & Watch, but they still have a lot of standard Game & Watch habits.
Of course.
Down air being one of them. You gotta watch out for those up smash callouts with the Magma Block.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be, I think that is going to be kind of our name of the game, our number one watch out here. Are we going to see down air into the Steve Magma Block? And if we are, how many times? Because there is a real possibility that is an interaction we see very often. I'm also very afraid of every Steve's favorite combo, up tilt, up tilt, up tilt, up tilt. Well, I guess technically it's up tilt, block, but you get the point. It's going to be a real easy combo, and with Game & Watch weighing as much as a paperclip, that can kill with maybe a couple of hits. For the third time today, we are starting a series here on Pokemon Stadium 2, and I'm really excited. These are two of my favorite characters in the game to watch.
Yeah, and we've been talking all about how Pango's strengths are going to be so hard for Game & Watch to deal with, but let's not pretend like Game & Watch doesn't have some powerful moves of his own. One underrated one I'm looking forward to is this bucket. I mean, I have seen reflectors. Anytime you're able to force Steve into a scramble situation where he's playing on autopilot, you can bet your bottom dollar that there is like a 80% chance they're going to throw out that minecart. And if you're able to get the reflect on that consistently, you might not always get a kill, but you put the fear of game in, in Pango. So you're going to see if you can try and get that going.
Is the minecart a projectile? I've never seen that interaction. I genuinely don't know.
Yes, it is. But it can be a little tricky to reflect at times just because of the hitbox. But I've definitely seen Falcos play around that quite a lot because of their, reflectors' disjointed properties. I'm curious to see how that interaction plays out.
Yeah, I've said it already. I have never seen this before. This is going to be a first. I feel like very rarely am I seeing matchups in SSBU, but I haven't seen at least one time before. I'm positive I have never seen a Game & Watch v Steve. So this is going to be, like you said, all about momentum, all about expectations and player habits. Who is able to take advantage of their opponent's habits a little bit more? Yeah, Steve v Game & Watch here. I think A-Fly's best approach is going to be getting in as quickly as humanly possible and just doing as much damage, not giving Pango any time to mine, any time to build, any time to breathe. I think A-Fly can really abuse that.
Yeah, A-Fly huffing and puffing up there, and the main thing they're looking to do is starve out these resources. A lot of people have different styles for punishing Steve. It seems like A-Fly's is, again, the resource war. You do not want them to get anything. Like, you're able to make it so when they're in disadvantage, they can't craft. And I was about to say, I'm not sure how much Game & Watch can rush down Steve. But you got to remember, Steve is one of the slowest characters in the entire game.
That's something I didn't even think about. Like, that didn't even cross my mind until I started seeing A-Fly play, but speed is going to play a huge factor here. Steve, like you said, notoriously slow. Game & Watch, not notoriously fast, but certainly faster than Steve. And I think A-Fly is really taking advantage of that. However, we're looking at a weight difference as well. A-Fly 70% is basically anybody else's 100%, but they're still able to find that first stock with the down smash. Now the minecart able to catch out A-Fly, dealing a little bit of damage up to 90. Pango, I feel like should be using this time to mine rather than prepare, but Pango's a better player than me, proving that right there with that Magma Cube, catching that first stock, and we are tied up all over again.
Yeah, they have caught on to the fact that when they mine, A-Fly pushes every button towards them. So they just stop mining and up smash, calling that out. That's a pattern you gotta watch out for.
Oh, what a good combo opener there from Pango. Unfortunately, only has the stone out to be used. Oh, the anvil straight down. Not something that I would have expected, but my golly, did it work well there. They're going to be able to spot dodge that down smash, not able to catch the down tilt. However, the minecart now caught out in A-Fly, utilizing that speed differential once again. The trade does come through with Pango's, I believe, forward air, catching that out. No, the cart, it goes far too deep in the anvil. Puts it away. What a call out from Pango there, Miles.
Yeah, knowing the A-Fly will be panicking, knowing they're early up B, and you're able to contest it with that disjoint. Oh, A-Fly goes deep on their own, though. An opportunity right here is you keep them at ledge, but they're able to armor through those, or not armor through, but the minecart gets them through that back air, and now you've got to get off ledge against Steve. The whiff grab almost gives you a chance, but instead it's the down air to reset things.
Down there with the reset, Pango still a full stock in the lead, really able to turn the momentum of this match around. For a long time at the beginning, their A-Fly was just walking all over Pango, but Pango now has the diamond prepared for that third stock. We're not even going to get to that third stock. The forward tilt going to be able to catch out A-Fly and take that third and final stock. I said it just then, but Pango, what a way to shift momentum and take the charge there.
Yeah, that was looking really nice overall. Well, if that's the way things are looking, I'm not feeling too optimistic because it felt like A-Fly had a very solid gameplay for Pango, but Pango's a good player. Pango's an amazing player.
Great player.
So, I mean, as soon as they started adapting, A-Fly looked a little more lost.
Yeah, I think A-Fly had a win condition, a mindset to go in with, and like you said, the second Pango broke through that, A-Fly did not have a B plan. This is my favorite play there. I was even saying, oh, I think you should be mining for resources, but Pango knew exactly what to do, knew to bring out that Magma Cube, and like you said, Miles, that's going to be a huge ability to use against A-Fly here, because Game & Watch wants to play from above you very often with that down special, with that forward special with the bomb as well, with the turtle, the back air. I mean, there's so many things coming out from A-Fly or Game & Watch above that. Pango really started to take advantage of that.
Yeah, they did. So we'll have to see if they're able to find a leg up here going into the second game. Now, A-Fly sticking to their game plan. They want to starve out Steve early on, but what do you do when the Iron isn't even the big player? So many Steves play almost exclusively around the Iron, and you need to have it as movement mix-ups, but movement mix-ups is really Pango's main option with Iron. They're not relying on it, so you've got to do more than just starve out the resources.
We're running it back once again, this time going to Kalos instead of PS2. The platforms, I feel like, and I may be wrong here, I feel like they're not going to be particularly helpful for Game & Watch. If anything, I feel like it helps Pango extend combos.
Yeah, I mean, you know that Pango, that Steve loves those horizontal combos. Jab, jab, forward air, jab, jab, forward air, all day long.
Oh, grabbing a back throw there. Great catch out. I love the mine into lava, or the block into the lava, excuse me. I think that's a great combo to catch off of ledge, but unfortunately has not been able to land it quite yet. A-Fly already up to nearly 100% in, I mean, hardly 30 seconds.
Yeah, as now, take a look at this. Ooh, nice drag down right there with the back air. At a disadvantage.
That back air packs a punch. A lot harder than I think a lot of people give it credit for it. Pango clearly knows that. That is Pango's favorite kill confirm up to this point. Able to use it twice. Finally catching out that kill. Goes for the one spot dodge. Not going to be able to catch the second one. 106% on the board now against Pango, but a diamond already at the ready for that second stock. And that's the scariest thing for A-Fly here, is killing and finding this stock almost is a bad thing, because now Pango's going to come out swinging with this diamond.
Yeah, now your neutral has to be that much more careful. As soon as you get to like 30, 50% at ledge, well, it's not looking good for you as the combo gets started. 59%. They've looked for the DI in. It didn't work, but if A-Fly had given it to him, that would have been it.
Pango hit A-Fly 4 times and it's 60%. So we're looking at what, 15% roughly per hit compared to Game & Watch having 66% and about 15 hits? I mean, it just goes to show the strength differential right now between the two characters themselves. The fact that Game & Watch is so light, really going to be working hard against him.
Yeah, it is now.
Oh!
Gotta land, but Steve, you throw out one move that's a little too laggy, and Steve is going to rush down and finish you, as now here's the combo again, up being out of it, but you go straight through, extending your hitbox with that bomb, and now Pango is going all the way off.
Devastating play there, the extended hitbox through the bomb, almost being the very reason A-Fly loses the series. Wow, insane. Oh, Pango with the F build, the very slight BM, but a very funny one regardless. That was like the double F. That was like the tall F.
They whiffed the F, and they got punished for it, as you should, as F smash, F smash, F smash, taking a page out of the playbook, landing with that anvil and pouring some hot lava on your head. A-Fly taken out. Pango, well, they got some style, they got some pizzazz there at the end, and A-Fly was not able to handle the change in tempo.
Absolutely. I mean, by no means offense to A-Fly here, but I love watching Pango play this game. I feel like every time we see Pango, there's a different style of adaptability, there's a different style and level of performance to where he truly can play against any opponent he has been put up against this season so far. Ever since the introduction of Steve, Pango has just been running with it. I mean, it has been incredible, truly. And this is where I was talking about the importance of that first stock being taken, because then Pango comes in, swaps to Diamond, and did, what was it, 60, 70% on A-Fly in a single combo. That's where Pango really started to take the lead again and just walked away with it.
Yeah, the fact that they had like 65%, 55% confirms on Steve, they had those combos on lock. They've been in the lab, they've been practicing, and you can't even up B out of those. Now that failed BM right there, that's deserved. If you spend a full minute, not full minute, but if you're out there building the F, you've got to be ready for people to call you out on it. But not much you can do there.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great performance. I'm sad to see Steve go. Not only am I a diehard Minecraft fan, but I think he's got such a fun kit. I can't figure it out, but I enjoy watching the people that can. I think it is a blast, truly. But with A-Fly down, one of the two big dogs for the side of Canisius, it is going to be up to Flapjack here. And there's a fifth player as well in the pile of Canisius, but Flapjack in particular on that Crom is one of those star-studded players for Canisius. So maybe they're able to claw things back. Even a single win here puts us at possibly a lead for Canisius, or at least near a tie, near a draw. However, I mean, Pango, like we talked about, one of very many strong players from the side of Siena. So even with Pango down, it's not like this is going to get any easier.
Yeah, it's going to be Lax coming in next. Now, Lax on the Fox theoretically struggles online, but they're also Lax. Fox just coming off of some very big wins at Summit is now, I mean, stocks are up, but that is offline. You've got to realize that you can't overextend. It's true offline. It's even more true online. Right. Because if you overextend once, you're just gonna die for it.
Absolutely. I think we're waiting to see who's coming in next for Canisius. I think they're talking about that just a little bit still. Like you said, we've got Lax coming in for the side of Siena. We saw Falco, Bivers earlier win by realistically the skin of their teeth. That was a very close series. They win in game 3, last stock, last hit. We'll say last hit. We didn't actually get to watch it, but, you know, Bivers won regardless. So that Fox coming out, not particularly different play style in regards to Falco. Okay, sorry, reset. There is a difference in play style, right? But at their core, at their base, a lot of things are the same. They've got the same recovery, they've got the same movement and kind of combo openers. People tend to play Falco a little bit more for those combos, but these Fox players, if somebody at this point is still playing Fox, it's because they have been for a long time, and they absolutely know what they're doing on the character. So I think whoever comes in next for Canisius is going to be going up against a very seasoned Fox player.
Yep, and the main thing you need to be careful of is just the constant pressure at the ledge. Now, a lot of people have been talking about it for a while. But the pressure at the ledge that Fox provides with constant back airs again and again and again, and the fact that it's probably even truer online. Fox is one of the only characters, I think the only character with an unreactable short hop. That's just word of mouth, but it definitely feels like that online. You can't really react to these empty hops. Fox is just backflipping in your face over and over again, and all of a sudden the back air comes out right as you drop shield. Every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually want to talk about as well, we have the roster for Canisius. We don't completely know who is coming up next, but we know the remaining players are Flapjack, Rat, Candlewax, and Daku Sky. I don't think I know Rat or Candlewax, and as I'm saying that, Rat is actually coming in next. So that is going to be a player I am unfamiliar with on the side of Canisius.
Now, Rat is a player I remember quite well. I may be misremembering, but Rat, here's the thing about them. They love the Bowser Jr. However, if I'm remembering correctly from last season when I was on with Soy, every single time Rat would come on, they would have a different low to low mid-tier character, and they would never lose. Like, they were one of the only players who we saw who, like, never lost.
I love that.
On their mid-tiers, and it wasn't like a dominant win. It would always be close. But they would not lose. So I'm hoping and praying. I haven't seen you since last season, so I'm hoping you're the same person that I'm remembering. But either way, if they are, we should be in for a nail-biter, because Rat keeps it close, but they don't lose. But Siena is also someone who just doesn't lose.
Yeah, it makes sense, though. Like you said, Rat, notorious for not losing, makes sense to bring them in right now. Even a one-stock win on both sides puts us at 9-10. That would move us into Game 5 with only a 1-point differential on the board. Absolutely absurd, right? As close can be, other than a tie-up. So maybe that's the goal here for Canisius. Even if they win, just barely, just by the skin of their teeth like Rat does, that still puts them 1 point away, and that is absolutely a win condition for them moving into that. And for Canisius to beat Siena here, that would be the upset of the century.
Yeah, that would be huge, especially going right into the MAC, which I confirm they are both going to be playing in, going to be competing in person this weekend. That is tone setting. Honestly, I'm being real with you, Cephalits. If you want to win at the MAC, your game plan is to make Siena feel safe. Don't get him over here.
Absolutely.
You just let him win. You let him have this one. We'll bring our sauce at the MAC. But no.
You get your information. You get the info you need. You keep it as close as you want, and then you slip up right at the end, right? You let them think they walk away with the win. You come in this weekend and just dominate. That would be the way to do it.
Multi-tournament conditioning. You meet him week 1, you lose. You meet him week 14, you lose. You meet him at the MAC. You have conditioned them to lose to you.
They think they're gonna come in winning? You were playing chess the entire time. You were 5 steps ahead back in week 1 of the EGFC. And Miles, a fun fact: last week we had Marquette versus Wichita, and we began with PS2 every single time. So far today, including this upcoming game, we have started with PS2 every single time. So technically speaking, we have had Pokemon Stadium 2 9 times in a row on this channel. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that turn to 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see our 5th set. I wouldn't be surprised to see that go to 15. These players here at the EGFC love Pokemon Stadium 2. So many times in the chat, we will see Gentlemen's to PS2. Yeah, sure. Or sometimes they'll go through the entire ban process and we'll still end up on PS2. These players truly can't get away with it. And honestly, I don't mind. I love it. I think it's a very balanced map. I think it is one where a lot of characters can succeed. So I think competitively speaking, it's great because it comes down to a lot more of individual talent rather than how well does my character work on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot less claustrophobic than a lot of other stages. Because of that open center stage. And additionally, I feel like a lot of neutral in Smash Brothers Ultimate specifically, is it is about controlling underneath the platforms.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is about being ready underneath that platform. The platform is your haven. It's your home. When Steve builds up the blocks on the other side of the platform, that's just like a little dirt hut on the first night under a tree. So, like, You've got to control those platforms, and PS2, there's 2 of them. Everyone can get their share. And if you get knocked to the other side of the stage, you can reset neutral underneath that platform. It's home, it's safe, and most importantly, there's none of those tricky triplats that can set you up for big old extensions. Nah. No huge extensions, but there are some.
Yeah, definitely some. Like you said, no huge ones. That top platform isn't there. It's not viable because it does not exist. So a lot of combos have to be changed up a little bit, a little played off to the side a little further to either blast zone, a little closer rather to either blast zone. And I think we're waiting on a button check right now. We've got Rat coming in from Canisius and Lax, the Fox player, coming in from Siena. Rat, who they're playing, is a massive question mark for us right now. We're all going to find out at the same time who that's going to be. But moving into Pokemon Stadium 2, that gives us absolutely no hint. We talked about how crucial this map can be for every character in the game. It's not like anybody gets, we're definitely going to see Blank on PS2 because everybody can work well here. We're finally moving in, and let's see who it is. You called it, Miles. First guess was the correct one. Bowser Jr. making it. Actually, Wendy making it appearance.
Well, I know Bowser Jr. is their main, but like I said, they had a whole assortment of different low tiers. Now they're on this Bowser Jr. who, you call them a low tier, Philly's going to get mad at you. But right here, they're immediately being stuffed out. Even with their disjoints, they're not able to keep Lax away.
Yeah, I think this is going to be hard. I think Fox just having that general speed advantage is going to really work well here. Bowser Jr. Has a lot of setups, a lot of combos that involves some slower-paced things. That Mecha Koopa, the cannon, the fork, we see a lot of that happen. And if Lax simply doesn't let you touch the ground, you're not going to be able to set up those proper combos.
And Bowser Jr. does have some very good combos. Not a huge variety, but it's some nice consistent damage. And we've seen that carry Bowser Jr.'s through different wins. There were Bowser Jr.'s, I think it was Ketchup, who upset Light at one of his first tournaments back offline. You've got to keep in mind these little differences, these matchup knowledges. But right now, it looks like matchup doesn't matter because Lax is just playing the Fox game. Bait and punish.
It's just Fox doing Fox things, It's just the name of the game. Going for a shield poke, not able to land it. Rat looking for the opportunity to capitalize. Oh, I love the shine on the Mecha Koopa there. I really like that idea. Unfortunately, follow-up wasn't there, and somehow, was that the up tilt? That happened so quickly, I literally missed with the move.
Yeah, and the thing about that shine on the Mecha Koopa, I don't even think it's that good. Rat is just picking up the Mecha Koopa afterwards a lot of the time. What you've got to keep in mind, though, I think they're trying to condition them to not use the Mecha Koopa.
Exactly. I think the expectation there was not to have a real follow-up. It was to condition the positioning of the Mecha Koopa, to use it a little bit less, to get it off the field. That would really help Lax moving down the line. And I like that. That's something I'd never think to do, to shine a Mecha Koopa. That would never cross my mind, but hey, I'm a caster for a reason. If I was good at the game, I'd play it, you know what I mean? It's going to be Lax losing that first stock finally, but 60% extra credit. That is nothing to shy away from.
Yeah, not at all. They're trying to keep Lax in the corner, but you can't keep Fox bottled up for that long. They're going to be taking control of that platform again. And look at this. They're just swinging the cutlery at them, throwing the whole kitchen drawer at them.
I've always wondered, I don't know if there's a reference in there. Why does Bowser Jr. have a massive fork? I don't know what Mario game that's from. I have no idea, but it bugs me every time I see it. I'm like,
he wears a bib. He's trying to eat dinner.
Just a hungry little lad? Is that the whole joke there?
He's just hungry. But either way, right now, he's hungry for an opening because right now they've only really gotten stray hits. And that back air, ooh, that's such a... Oh no! They went for the club swing. And that meant they couldn't grab the ledge. That was an all-or-nothing play that really you couldn't get anything from.
Right. No capitalization on the back of that. An all-or-nothing play. The risk absolutely not worth the reward. Excuse me. My goodness. Now, I like the up special there from Rat, able to catch Lax right out of that shield. Gives them a little bit of time, but unfortunately, there was no follow-up. And I feel like to do something like that, follow-up is necessary for that to have any real value other than the 6% you've added to your opponent.
Yes, now... Trying to get off the ledge here against Fox. You're able to do it with that burst option in the Koopa car, but controlling center stage. Remember what I said about the unreactable short hop? You react to this. Look at them flipping around.
That is flipping crazy, Miles. Lax a full stock in the lead right now. Rat just about to enter that triple-digit threshold, and we're not even going to get to see it as they are sent right up and out of that top blast zone, losing game one on Pokemon Stadium 2. So is there an expectation now that Rat has lost that game to swap off the Bowser Jr.? Do you think we're going to be seeing that Bowser Jr.?
I think stick to it. It's their main. I feel like they go that Bowser. They go other things just because they're feeling it in the moment.
Sure.
But everyone seems to be super prepared. They have a hard game plan. They have their main practice. They are looking to stick to their tried and true style and win it out. But against Lax, that wasn't looking too possible. It just felt like they always had at least a stock and a half lead.
We actually saw a clash there that I did not catch. There was going to be the forward air, the short hop forward air coming out from Lax. Took the stock as it got traded out by, not even traded, Rat just simply won the engagement there. There was no clash. It was just more damage had been done by the Bowser Jr. Lax lost that first stock, and that's unfortunate because I think had Lax not lost the stock right there, that could have been a 3 stock.
Yeah, definitely could have been, but, well.
It's 2020.
Yeah, it is, as now you've got to consider where you go from here. I mean, I don't even know if you would want to go to a triplat. Bowser Jr. gets some crazy extensions, but giving Fox access to juggle you like that is not a good option, especially when your only real way to get around that a lot of the time is to up B and drop down the clown car. But It's not like Steve where you're just fine. No, all you've got is that wand to try and cover your landing.
Yeah, I was a big fan of what we were seeing from Rat, and I talked about it during the game. I'll talk about it a little bit more, was that recovery, using that up B above Fox in that shield to kind of break them out of it. But I missed the capitalization. I think anything, a cannon, a Mecha Koopa, anything to immediately follow up would have done dividends, would have worked incredibly well for that team, or for that play style, right? But unfortunately, Rat just kind of went for it, and then had space made, and then just gave the space back up for free, and there was no real win off the back of the trade there. I don't know. I don't understand Bowser Jr. a whole lot. That's not a character I see very often, but I feel like there was a lack of follow-up that could have gone a long way for.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there. I feel like, in general, it's so tough. When one of your main kill confirms is going to be the spin out, that is actually very tough to land. I don't actually know why exactly, but every Bowser Jr. player I talk to, they're like, that spin out, man, they keep buffing the spin out and it's still not enough. It's still not powerful enough to really make it worth it. I'm like, I'm out here hitting rest. Why can't you do the spin out? But it's just so tough, especially when everyone is moving around. You have to know exactly where they're going to be from across the stage.
Right.
And with a character as jumpy, as fidgety as Fox, well, that's not going to happen every time.
Yeah, so moving into our next stage, Miles, we do have confirmation that it's going to be Final Destination, I believe, or that may actually be... I believe that's our upcoming stage. So I want to talk about, that is a stage notorious for Fox players, right? There's a meme that goes as far back as Melee. Fox 3 stock, no items, there's that whole joke, the 1v1. So it's like Fox is definitely notorious for living on Final Destination. But does Bowser Jr. do well here? Is this even a stage that could work well for Bowser Jr.?
Yeah, this is where Bowser Jr.'s up air trains can be massive. They're a very horizontal combo, which is odd with the up air, but you just want to carry them all the way across this huge stage. Just up air, up air, up air, up air, up air, and then hopefully get a finisher of some variety, but the finisher is always the toughest part, Seth.
Yeah, the finisher for a lot of characters in this game, especially like you said, when you get into those mid, those low tiers, we see a lot of characters struggle with those kill confirms, and I believe that's kind of what Rat was struggling with in that last series like we talked about, but here we go. Final Destination, a map or a stage rather, that should work very well for either of these players. It's going to be fascinating. Rat taking a lot of damage early. Lax, I'm sure, has played this stage thousands of times, Miles, so I think these combos are going to be just ingrained in their playstyle.
However, Rat is already keeping things even. They went for the reflector right there, but then the Mecha Koopa was just like, nah, I'm staying in. I'm hitting snooze on that alarm. Well, there's a crucial bit of information right there. They're not going to, that Mecha Koopa not going to be useful in the edge guarding, so instead they're trying to space that cannonball.
Trying to space that cannonball. Cannonball. That could be the space maker they need, right? That Cannonball could really interrupt a lot of combos Lax tries to bring out. We found the Mecha Koopa not working as well because Lax is shining every single one of them, so the Mecha Koopa's often working against us more than for us. And now Rat has had to change the play style a little bit. Grab into forward throw. I'd expect the laser immediate follow-up. And I'm surprised we don't see a down air from Lax. They're trying to catch them off stage even further. They're going to let them get back on stage for free.
Yeah, and now, ooh, they're finally able to get that back air right there at kill percent, at ledge, and now you're stuck trying to track down this pilot. Going to be the rapid jab to push you away from the shield. They just run right on into them, though. They are looking for something, and it's not going to manifest, but you got to remember that Cannonball does fall down like that when you space it correctly. It's a great, like, chase tool if you don't want to commit to the side B.
Great chase tool. I think chasing is kind of the name of the game. With Fox, perhaps a little more than Bowser Jr., but I think a crucial part of Bowser Jr.'s combo openings is that chase, right? It's important to be as close as possible to utilize the Mecha Koopas at closer range. The longer they're out, the less impactful they feel, at least to me. And I feel like, I don't know, Miles, it feels like a lot of what Rat is doing is off the back of this Mecha Koopa, and then Lax is doing such a good job completely negating the Koopa that it just feels like Rat doesn't know what to do.
No, I definitely agree with you right here, Seth. It's getting really tough for them as now. Actually dodge that out right away, and they want to get a reflect here so bad, but I'm not even sure it's going to be that beneficial. But I guess when you're winning the neutral completely and they're not really punishing these reflectors anymore, it doesn't matter as much. With all that rage, that up smash almost killed.
174 to 124, a full stock lead here for Lax. Honestly, this is the second player we've seen today live up to 180%. I feel like that's not something I see particularly often, but somehow it seems like we can knock it away from it today. Grab probably into back throw. It looks like they're going to try to play the ledge game again. A great mix up there from Rat. Unfortunately, still falls right into that spam attack coming out from Lax. Oh! The cannon goes straight down.
Ooh, and now? I can't believe we're seeing these percents from these two characters. I know sometimes they can't kill, blah, 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 blah. This is, like, getting a little absurd. If we get above 200%, like, both people, we're just in sudden death territory as they go for it all right there. That's an overextension, though. You don't want to deal with Fox ledge trapping, so you go right into it, hoping for an all-or-nothing play. It wasn't the play.
Oh my, whoa, no, please, no! Oh. As is the way of Wi-Fi, unfortunately. You guys get to look at us now for a couple of minutes, but wow, 203. Miles, I cannot remember the last competitive match I saw a player hit 200% on any character, even like the heavies. I haven't seen triple digits in the twos in a long time.
Especially on Fox, that is impressive. And it speaks a lot to their longevity right there. They're not overcommitting. You know who is overcommitting a little bit? It's Rat. Rat going on stage with that recovery again. That doesn't really happen. They play very safe, Lax. They go right to the ledge. And then,
Miles, I have news. The second we left was the same second the game ended. It is already over. Siena won with a 3-stock. Lax able to walk away with all 3 stocks. Wow, so we just missed maybe the last 3 seconds of that match. That ended as soon as we were DC'd. I mean, just what a performance. 200%, does not lose a single stock. That is how you secure a lead for your team. That is the way to carry your team into a winning position once again.
Yeah, that was honestly beautiful stuff right there from Lax, and I'm gonna be excited, especially to see Lax going into this MAC showdown here, because Fox in general, I mean, so much better online, but what you gotta keep in mind, they're playing this safe online. I wonder if in the moment, in the intensity, they will get that fire that you get at in-person events. It's so different trying to keep your nerves in check when you were in front of that big old crowd. So I'm excited to see that, as right now, Siena running away with this. I think they have run away with this. It's technically possible, but No, it's not even technically.
I was gonna say, I don't think it even is. Even a double stock from Canisius unfortunately brings them just a couple of points short off the board there. I think I can hear the button check ending in my ears if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if that's what that is, but I think we'll be jumping in just a moment. We've got Knight on the side of, I almost said on the side of Pango. No, Knight on the side of Siena, and I don't believe Canisius has, shared who they're bringing in quite yet.
Whoever it is, they're going to have a very tough time going up against Knight. Knight, if I'm remembering correctly, was either the MVP or the MVP runner-up in the previous year. Two Schultz competing for it, weirdly enough.
Runner-up.
Yeah, and Knight was salty about it. Knight was like, I should have gotten that. I wasn't clutch enough. So they play self-described. They really consider their play style as a lot more optimal, lot less focus on reads and hard punishes. No, they're just playing this game. They're playing Shulk's range game, and that is a beautiful style to have on your anchor.
Yeah, without a doubt, a beautiful style indeed. And it's, I believe Knight was runner-up. I'm not positive on that. They may very well have been the MVP, but like you said, it was Bako and Knight, the Shulks going toe-to-toe. I know personally my vote was for Bako because I got to watch Bako double reverse 3-stock 2 times in a row to get Quinnipiac into semifinals, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The most insane broadcast I've ever witnessed with my own eyes. But still, Knight is one hell of a show. I mean, let me tell you, this is a very strong player. I know Knight also has like a pocket Pithra, a pocket Aegis. We've seen that a couple of times down the line, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that make an appearance as well. And then Flapjack coming in for Canisius. Crom, tried and true. I don't think I've ever seen Flapjack play anything else, at least not for a very long time. So I expect that Crom to be coming out every single game, however many that may be. And I feel like if somebody is going to double 3-stock, it is going to be Flapjack. But against Knight, it's like that is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, it's... Here and now, you've got to use this as just data gathering.
Absolutely.
Testing how good you're going to be feeling for this upcoming MAC, because you may end up facing off against Siena again. You might just get the salty run back right away. So you've got to be ready for that. You got to test out whether your prep time has been worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen Canisius, those first 2 games in particular, close as close could be. I mean, Bivers won last stock, last hit, twice in a row. We saw, I mean, Miko Rising won the first game for Canisius, so they very clearly have the pieces, right? It feels like they're just falling a wee bit short each time. It's coming down to last stock, last hit. The only exception, I think, being Lax there with that 3-stock, of course, and then Pango was relatively dominant as well. But my point is, we're seeing the growth. We're seeing the improvement go down the line. So if we do get that salty run back, there is a very realistic opportunity for Canisius to make this even closer, if not tie it, if not win it. I mean, there is absolutely a world where Canisius wins that run back.
Yeah, and based on the prep time we've been seeing, that would be beautiful, but there are a lot of rivalries going into this.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got, you know, Bako and Knight going at it. Quinnipiac and Siena, the top 2 seeds in the MAC right now, and then obviously all these teams hungry for an upset. They want it so bad.
I want to see that Shulk v. Shulk. I want to see that MVP versus MVP. That would be the matchup of the century. And I'm not even particularly fond of Shulk as a character, but I am fond of these players. I am fond of Bako and Knight. They are breathtaking performers on those Shulks, and I think that they, in particular, both make incredible anchors for their team. But Knight, as you know, we're talking about making an anchor for the team. I think we're jumping in just a minute. The stage has been selected. I think we're going to have to go through the button check still, but this will be Knight versus Flapjack, Canisius versus Siena. Unfortunately, Canisius is statistically not able to win tonight, but every single point is worth it. We have seen players go tooth and absolute nail just to secure these points, just to get those bragging rights of winning out a game against their opponent. I think now we're just playing the waiting game until these players are ready to jump back in.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough game right now. As I know Flapjack likes to get in there, likes to press buttons. Whether it's on the Falco, I think I've seen a Roy from them. I might be imagining things, but I definitely have seen the Captain Falcon. Either way, all those characters, I mean, I talked about Falco struggling with hits disjoints.
Right.
Against Shulk?
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah,
it's just like yardstick. It's like, nah, 6 feet, man.
Just poking you away every time you try to get in, stabbing you back a little bit. Absolutely. And I think Knight, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen Knight in a little bit, but if I'm not mistaken, Knight is a Shulk player that was very impressive to me on their ability to somehow always be using the right Monado. It was like there was never a mistake. There was never a misinput. It was always, and sometimes I'd be watching and I'd be like, oh my goodness, you know, use the shield art here. And they'd be on something else and it would work so incredibly well. Knight just seems to have such a download on the character of Shulk. And I'm saying all this, there is a good chance that Aegis makes an appearance, right? That Pyramithra shows up. But I think Knight in particular is I would say one of the most consistent players in the entire EGFC.
Yep, and that is exactly what you want on a team. You don't want those big swingy players who might play a character who's not as good offline. No, you want people who can consistently win out again and again and again in these clutch situations. That's what you're looking for right here. As, you know, we're trying to get into this game as quickly as possible, as quickly as we please. So I thank you all for your patience as they finish up this button check, and we will be getting into this game in just a second. Here we go.
I heard the audio cue. We are jumping in the game in just a moment. I believe we're starting on Town and City, Shulk v. Chrom. So both of them bringing out these mains, bringing out these expected fighters. It is going to be a fascinating matchup, to say the very least. The first game in 10 games. We are not starting with Pokemon Stadium 2. That's an exciting change of pace. And already, Flapjack able to get a little bit of a recovery there. Knight trying to find some free damage. And I believe they're not relatively far apart in terms of speed either.
I would say they definitely are. I mean, with speed art, maybe. But hey, that's a nice switch on to Shield art, to get out of that little confirm right there. Missing that tech on the platform that was scary until they got that out.
Oh no, I'm crazy wrong. Their speed differential's insane. I'm totally wrong. I just looked it up. Ignore that comment. Either way, we're jumping right back into this here. A 4% differential for the time being. A great catch out there by Flapjack above the ledge. The speed art not working super well for Knight, but it seems like he's able to find that opening grab into forward throw. I'd expect, yeah, a little bit of offstage gameplay. Brings in the backslash with Flapjack, gonna catch them out. I love the jump art swap there. A very free way to get back on stage with that platform.
And I like just retaking center, not worrying too much.
Oh!
And that is why Chrom.
Genius! Oh my, that was so cool. I was like, why is he standing there? What is the game plan? I love it. What a smart play from Knight. Maybe that was a simple play. I don't know. I'm very easily impressed. Either way, I really liked it from Siena there. What a smart play from Knight.
Yeah, overuse of this up B could be hard, but I do like the amount of multi-hits they are getting. Is again, they're managing to keep this even against Knight right now as they're getting the juggles started now, but whiffing the opportunity. They tried to use the back air to get off stage and they missed because of that, but this is just constant coverage, constant smothering from Knight right now.
Yeah, and I really like what Flapjack is doing. A lot of the time, they are intentionally waiting out these different arts. They're waiting for the timer to get at least to the halfway or to burn things out, and it's been working relatively well. It's forcing Knight to engage without the buff of whatever art had just been used. And of course, I believe there's that small cooldown before you can use another one. It's not like very long, and I believe it exists. It's going to be that jump art now coming out once again. Gets onto the stage for free. Flapjack could catch that with an up special, but if you miss, that's insanely punishable. So you've got to calculate the risk versus reward.
Yeah, as now sending this combo with the Nair, and just like that, you're having trouble killing, going onto that smash art, but they get right off of that. Now, with this speed online, look at this, they've got those short hop, fast fall fairs. It's such a deadly move right there, because the jump is going to get you back to the stage. No problem whatsoever. The back air is going to finish you.
Good catch out. Good read there from Flapjack, able to find that back air, and now putting Knight in a rather disadvantageous position. 65%, and there it is again. There's Flapjack just playing it slow, waiting out that shield art, and capitalizing off the back of it. The art's gone, bumping out of the smash art now. I feel like Knight is just really struggling to find an opening, find an engagement, to the point of where I would not be surprised if Aegis makes an appearance in Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to duel like that is always good. I do think that Shulk has a lot of stuff here, and we have seen some of it, but Flapjack just seems extraordinarily prepared for it. As spacing that back air, it's slow, but it is so powerful, and it's so good at just poking you away.
Yeah, it's just been a game of patience from the side of Flapjack, capitalizing only when they know they can. Flapjack not even going to go for the recovery, expects the counter to come. chooses to just take the element stock and walk away with it. The Buster Art, though, not gonna do much there as you get caught out in a final stock scenario. Flapjack able to walk away with that first set. A great start for Canisius there.
Yeah, and that right there, you see that. I mean, right here at the end, we're going to see it. They tried to go to the shield art to save themselves. However, they went to the Buster, and I think this would have killed anyway, but one cleave from that put them at above 100. That did like 10%. That whole move connecting probably would have done like 40 with Buster art online, because that's just the swing factor that Buster was. But that's why you also go for it. Now, that is a very good way to go about it right there. If you're able to space fairs a lot more, put them off stage, and then just force an up B, get a counter, then you maybe have a little more going for you. One thing I do have to call out, Flapjack's random up Bs on stage. A lot of them aren't connecting, but it is forcing respect, I suppose.
Yeah. It's forcing space, and I think Flapjack needs a lot of that, right? With the way they've been playing so far, it's waiting out these arts and then capitalizing. We saw Flapjack literally stand still until that art came to a close on Knight, jumps, immediately back airs, and finds the stock. It's so much patience coming out from this playstyle from Flapjack that I really appreciate. I think it's working really well. That stock's so sad to watch. Flapjack just kind of has to give it away. No way to get back on stage there, but hey, a win is a win regardless.
Yeah, as... Woof. This is... I'm trying to think of, like, what you go here. I don't think a character switch is always necessary. I think that is definitely something gameplay could help. However, just the fact that they were able to break through Knight's defenses so consistently, so often, that's something you got to keep an eye on. As 1 second.
Yeah, we're now jumping into our next stage, which is going to be Final Destination. With two sword fighters, this is going to be fascinating. I'm truly curious because there's nowhere to extend combos, but the question is, there's nowhere to hide from combos. Kilomiles is back. Hey, Kilomiles, he's back. As you jump into this, but I mean, two sword fighters on FD. Miles, this comes down entirely to mechanical performance.
And I feel like they were noticing that their the platform mix-ups on Crom's movement, Crom being a fast faller, a much faster faller than Shulk anyways,
right?
Definitely gets a lot more out of that, you know what I mean? So, when you don't have that available, well, you may be able to just wall out Crom a lot more effectively.
Yeah, and walling out Crom, I think, needs to be the name of the game, right? You need to be, maybe walling out Crom is not the name of the game. Maybe we've got a completely different game happening. This is an EGFC first for me. I have never seen an Isabel making an appearance, but here she is trying to get up close and personal. However, I think Shulk wins this matchup in dividends.
Yeah, I mean,
she's an incredibly low tier fighter.
Getting caught with the Buster art, that is one thing I have noticed about Knight. They're not always the quickest at switching off the Buster as soon as they think they're going to get hit. You want to be a little bit quicker with that because they stacked on 50% for almost nothing as the back throw. Going to stack up more damage.
So right now, it's just Knight playing a game of like volleyball with themselves. It's just keeping Flapjack off stage, knocking them back over and over. And there it is, that forward air going to be able to kill, take that first stock already. Knight only taking 70% in the process.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for them so far. You've got to be careful, obviously, but... Whew. That grab, or that fishing rod rather, is just so long. But again, the same old song and dance. Even with Isabel able to contest at a range a little bit more, you're still getting walled out a lot.
Right. Absolutely. It's a lot of that walling out. We talked about how important that's going to be moving into game 2. It's not quite the Crom we were worried about, but it feels like Knight went in with a playstyle in mind, no matter who that opponent is going to be. Because I feel like we're seeing a very notable change in playstyle. Is that due to the fact they're a little more confident in the Isabel matchup, or is that just due to the fact this is game 2? A little more understanding. That is aggressive. Oh, and the backslash. That should be enough to just wrap it up, right? I believe she's... No, okay, she's going to be able to make it back for a second time there. Goes for the back air, going to fall a wee bit short. One balloon left, and that one balloon is not going to get you high enough. Knight looking for a 3 stock right now, Miles.
Yeah, good high recovery overall, though, to keep yourself safe and sound through all of that. I don't hate to see it in the slightest, as now you're trying to get back to stage as quick as you can. Just getting cleaved through by these forward airs. It's such a good spacing tool. I mean, it's even better. It goes straight through the slingshot every single time, as long as you get the appropriate short hop height where you're not actually going to be finished by it.
Oh! That was almost it. That was almost everything. Oh my goodness, somehow one balloon gets popped and the other doesn't. I truly have no idea how that goes down, but now that Nair finally picking up that first stock on tonight. However, 71% on your final, and Knight is hungry for it already, looking to take that stock offline. Flapjack really using that recovery a lot, and that recovery insanely punishable. I mean, I feel like Flapjack may be a little too comfortable using it so often.
Yes. Ooh, you're able to get a nice starter right there off of that up tilt. 51% already. If you're able to just get a gimp right here with like a back throw or something, maybe you can get a little bit more, but a nice tomahawk right there from Knight, calling out that grounded defense from Flapjack.
Yeah, Flapjack actually doing a great job here on the second stock engagement. Already has Knight up to 60%. However, Isabel at 103. That is going to be you know, I don't think she's living much longer than that. Knight going in deep for the kill and finding it. The backslash makes an appearance, and that will wrap it up with a nice little bow on top. That is going to be Siena College walking away with another victory here at the EGFC.
Yeah, beautiful stuff right there by Knight to finish that off, and in style as well. Knight genuinely was looking so good as, yeah. I'm really feeling for Siena as they go into this MAC. I mean, they have proven why they're the #2 in the league. They've proven that consistency, and even though they're not untouchable, they're still, in the end, always having the numbers, always having the skill to win out. So good stuff by them. Now, I do think we are going to be... No,
it's 1-1. Yeah, it's 1-1. I misspoke. I realized that in the middle of that. I thought...
Oh my God.
Knight won 2 times in a row. There's a whole third game happening. I don't know why I thought there wasn't, but yeah, we're going to be going all the way to game 3. I don't think Flapjack's going to be busting out Isabel again. Something tells me that that's probably not going to be happening, but I feel like either way, you know, maybe, I don't know. The Isabel swap is so weird. Do we go back to Crom? Do we go to somebody else? Do we play Isabel again? I truly have no idea.
I think the Isabel counterpick might have just been for Final Destination.
Oh, fair,
you wanted, I mean, you definitely wanted to just be able to, well, hold out for as long as you could. But either way, in this last game, I have a feeling the more fast-paced character is going to be coming out. The Isabel wasn't looking amazing. I think it was just sort of a Hail Mary because you knew that Crom with such a linear approach could not get through any of that.
Absolutely. And, you know, maybe there's, like you said, it could be a little bit of a Hail Mary. You know your team, unfortunately, has already kind of lost the matchup tonight. You're maybe trying to warm something up that you're, you know, forming down the line. And yeah, we're running it back. Same old, same old. It is going to be Pokemon Stadium 2. No surprise there. Crom v. Shulk once again in the third and final matchup of this set. We misspoke earlier. This is going to be the last one here. And already, Flapjack coming in hot, able to find 20%, but a whiff shot. Gonna find a grab opening for Knight. However, it's gonna be whiffed just a little bit. However, okay, never mind. Just kidding. Knight finds that capitalization off the back of it, and now finds 30% on the Flapjack early.
Yeah, and now the one thing is you get caught by one of these stray aerials and you could be eating a whole chunk of damage. As you can see, Flapjack is definitely starting to heat back up again after their character switch.
Yeah, Flapjack definitely
off though. Good saving on the jump though. They never ever want to recover low. If you're able to avoid recovering low, you might just win it out single-handedly.
Yeah, recovering low could be a devastating blow here. Like you said, it could be a single-handed win. That one mistake can go the unfortunate extra mile and seal the deal. But now that speed arc coming out from Knight, trying to get a little bit faster, trying to get a little bit more up close and personal. Oh, great parry though, going to be coming out. Flapjack. Oh, now, wow, great juggle there as well. Knight just thrown into the blast zone off the stage as well, and that is not going to be tech. That'll send you right into the first stock being lost.
Yeah, Flapjack, well, is going to die themselves right there. I mean, Knight was probably in position for the edge guard anyway, but either way, now you've got to find a way through all of this. Back there right there to get things started. But these Nairs, they're not finding much perch sepulence as they're getting... The fact that they're able to get this shield switch out of the up B every time is so reassuring to see.
Absolutely. Reassuring indeed. I'm fascinated with kind of what went down there. Flapjack losing that first stock was going to be unfortunate, but it's still looking incredibly close. I mean, a 2% differential for the time being. A great catch out there, but it's got multiple hitboxes, so Flapjack will be able to catch the first one. 85% up the smash art, now making an appearance. Can they catch off of ledge? That can be huge, but nope. The roll-up is going to be able to get them through. That art will come to a close, and that is Flapjack's time to strike. Another whipped opportunity, though. Going to fall a little bit short. The jump art comes through. Flapjack, though, right on top of it to find that damage.
Yeah, is now, ooh, the speed art coming out. They're able to just get that counter right there. Nice, cleaving right on through them, and now you get the grab again, send them off stage. Can you get this edge guard? This is where they've thrived, but again, no high recovery. This time you're going to have to, though, and that just might be checkmate. Yep, but oh, they went on the stage, so they actually didn't get killed by the counter. They're still, and they're actually able to finish them off.
Yeah, that's going to be huge there. Able to take that second stock. The smash art comes through, and that is not going to find its value. But, oh my goodness, Flapjack, it's just doing a really good job. I feel like I keep talking about it, but it seems to be kind of the winning condition, right? Is that opportunity for Flapjack to space out these arts. Every time an art is used by Knight, Flapjack just stops playing. And then as soon as it comes to a close, they capitalize. It's going to be Knight able to find that second stock. We are going all the way to that third and final stock here.
Yeah, this is looking very nice right now as Knight gets this forward air chains right across. But they're the ones who finally get caught by that, or get the value out of that Buster. It's been Flapjack abusing that time and time again, but 93% off of that Buster. That's like Inkling doing a full-in combo on you. Because now the Buster art is coming on. Ooh.
Flapjack up to 101, but we've seen the opportunities that when Flapjack finds the time to strike, he can turn 64 into, a full stock taken offline. Waiting now, it's going to be so much patience down the line. Flapjack knows you can't overextend. You've got the full rage, but one misstep could be just enough for Knight to walk away with that third and final matchup. Smash Art makes an appearance. Knight in a really good position to walk away with this, but if the roll-up does come through, Flapjack missing a crucial opportunity, but will not miss a second time. It will, in fact, walk away with the set win. Canisius College's Flapjack really coming out strong there in set 5.
Fantastic stuff right there. Actually winning this time from Flapjack, as they really seem to have Knight's number on any stage that is not flat. So as long as they get, your Kalos, your Town and City, and your finalist nation out of the way, they're feeling confident in their ability to mix up their movement and choke Knight out. It's so there's nothing you can do really. Like, just look at this. You get the ledge trapping. Oh wait, no, that was the wrong thing that I was envisioning. But, oh, this was another good moment. You can see there, they used the upbeat all the way onto stage. They used it a little bit high, and then they read that tech roll and get the forward tilt right there. Oh, so chunky.
Yeah, and I believe we're going to be throwing it to a break pretty quickly here. We've got Mississippi State University and the University of South Alabama already running and gunning. They are rooting and tooting, ready to jump into lobby. So we're going to be throwing it to a super short break. We're unfortunately skipping the interview because going to stage 3 times and all of them being so close really does burn out the timer a little bit. So we will see you folks right back here in just a couple of minutes for some more EGFC SSBU. Don't go far. We'll see you in just a few.